So hello students, I'm Sai Baba here. In the previous class, I have discussed the solutions of the questions numbering from 31 to 43 in the assignment in simple harmonic motion. So now I am going to continue the discussion of the solutions of the next questions starting from question number 44 in this class. Come on, look at the question number 44 in the assignment in simple harmonic motion. So I am going to discuss solutions of the questions numbering from 44 onwards. So I am going to read the question number 44 now and discuss the solution for question number 44 with. Come and look at the question number 44 on the screen. Simple pendulum has time period t equal to 2 seconds in air. The whole arrangement is immersed in a non-viscous liquid whose density is 36%. Of the density of the bath, the time period of small oxygen in the liquid will be. The time period of small oxygen in the first case in air, neglecting air resistance, given by 2 point root of L by G, which is given to be 2 seconds. The time period of oscillations, time period of small oxygen bomb of simple pendulum when it is completely immersed inside a non-viscous liquid, given by 2 point root of L by G dash. Where G dash is the apparent value of acceleration due to gravity. For the body which is completely immersed inside the non-viscous liquid. As discussed earlier, the apparent weight for body of mass m, when it is completely immersed inside a non-viscous liquid of density dl is given by mg into 1 mass dl by d, where d is the density of the material of the solid body and dl is the density of the liquid. Here density of the liquid is given to be 36% of the density of the material of the bath. So dl can be written as 36 by 100 times d. The apparent weight you can write mg dash. So you get g dash equal to g into 64 by 100. So the ratio of the new time period t dash to the original time period t. Can write root of g by g dash. Here g dash you can write 64 by 100 times z. So ratio of new time period t dash to the original time period t. Root of 25 by 16. T dash by t, you get 5 by 4. So the time period t dash in the second case is 5 by 4 times the time period in the first case. The time period in the first case is 2 seconds. So the new time period t dash will be 2.5 seconds. So answer is 2.5 seconds. So if you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So for question number 44, second option is answer. See the question number 45. A pendulum is fixed on a cart sliding without friction down on inclined plane of inclination theta with horizontal. The period of oscillation of the pendulum is, as I discussed earlier in Newton's laws of motion, the acceleration of a body sliding down or moving down a smooth and frictionless inclined plane is given by A equal to g sin theta. So the acceleration of the cart with respect to the station observed on the ground, you can take it as g sin theta, which is directed parallel to the inclined plane. The inclined plane makes an angle theta to the horizontal. So the acceleration due to gravity acts vertically downwards. So you can do the problem by two methods. One method is by using the conclusion I told you earlier. So as I told you, that time, the point of suspension, a simple pendulum is moved with an acceleration a bar with respect to station observed on the ground. Then the time period of small oscillations is given by 2 point root of L by G effective, or G dash. Where G effective or G dash is equal to mod of G bar minus A bar. G bar is acceleration due to gravity at the given place. A bar is acceleration at the point of suspension with respect to station observer on the ground. Here, the angle between A bar and G bar will be equal to the acceleration A bar of the cart is directly parallel to the inclined plane. The point of suspension of the simple pendulum moves down along with the cart with the same acceleration with the cart moves, which is equal to G sin theta in magnitude, but directly parallel to the inclined plane. That means makes an angle theta to the oriented. The acceleration due to gravity acts vertical down. So angle between these two, both if denoted by beta, can observe from the geometry of situation. Beta plus theta is 90 degrees, or beta you can write 90 minus theta. So mod of the vector difference G bar minus A bar, you can write root of G square plus A square minus 2GA cos beta, where beta is the angle between G bar and A bar. Here, magnitude of the acceleration of the point of suspension is equal to G sin theta. Can substitute A equal to G sin theta. So beta can be written as 90 minus theta. And cos 90 minus theta equals sin theta. So we can take G square common outside throughout. So 1 plus sin square theta minus 2 sin theta cos 90 minus theta, you can write sin theta. So sin theta into sin theta will sin square theta. Root of G square into 1 minus sin square theta. So 1 minus sin square theta is cos square theta. Root of G square into cos square theta. So effective value of G you can take G cos theta. So the time period of oscillations is given by 2 point root of L by G effect, or G dash. So 2 point root of L by G cos theta. So that's the answer for the given question. G effect is when the value of acceleration due to gravity with respect to the station observed in the cart, or acceleration of freely falling body with respect to the station observed on the inside the, with respect to observer in the cart with that moving along with the cart. You can also arrive at the same conclusion by alternate method. I want to discuss the alternate method also now. If you want to copy the solution of this problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So now I am analyzing the discussing same problem by the alternate method. Because same question sometimes given, same model question is sometimes discussed in the Newton's laws of motion. The theta naught denote the angle made by the string with a vertical direction at the instant when the bob of the pendulum is at rest with respect to the cart. That means that theta naught denote the angle made by the string with a vertical direction at the instant when the bob of the pendulum is in equilibrium with respect to the cart. That means at the instant when the net force of the bob is 0 with respect to the accelerated frame fixed to the cart. So now we are analyzing, drawing the freeboard diagram for the bob of the pendulum with respect to the accelerated frame of reference, which is moving along with the cart with the same acceleration with the cart. So the coordinate system or frame of reference fixed to the cart is called accelerated frame of reference or non-inertial frame of reference. So, and you want to apply Newton's laws of motion for the bob with respect to accelerated frame of reference, in addition to the two real forces which act on the bob, we have to consider pseudo force also. The first real force is weight mg which acts vertically downwards. Then the tensile force by the string on the bob acts along the string and away from the bob. Let T naught be the tension in the string in the equilibrium position of the bob. Equilibrium position means position where net force of the bob is zero in the accelerated frame. This the magnitude pseudo force in the bob with respect to the accelerated frame of reference fixed to the cart is equal to mass of the bob into magnitude of acceleration of the cart. Direction of pseudo force will be opposite to the direction of the acceleration of the cart. The acceleration of the cart is down the inclined plane parallel to the inclined surface, which makes an angle theta 2. So pseudo force makes parallel to the inclined surface. So I choose the direction parallel to the inclined surface as x-axis. Direction perpendicular to the inclined surface as y-axis. So tension in the string acts along y-axis. Pseudo force acts along negative direction of x-axis. The weight mg is inclined to both x and y-axis. The line of action of the weight mg, if it is produced, makes an angle theta with a line normal to the inclined plane. Theta is the angle of inclination of the inclined plane with the horizontal. That means this x-axis makes an angle theta with the horizontal direction. Can resolve the weight mg into rectangular components parallel to x and y because it is inclined to both x and y. So the component mg cos theta acts perpendicular to the inclined path. The component mg sin theta acts parallel to the inclined path along x-axis. So in the equilibrium position of the bob, that means here theta naught represent the angle made by the string with the vertical direction when the bob is in equilibrium with respect to the cart. Equilibrium position means not in equilibrium with respect to the ground, it is equilibrium with respect to cart, with respect to accelerated frame of reference. So x component is the resultant force. Can write mg sin theta minus mv. That is 0. Or we can write mg sin theta equal mv. Here the cart is moving down with an acceleration the cart is moving down with an acceleration so theta naught is the angle made by the string with the vertical. The cart is moving down with an acceleration equal to g sin theta. That means theta and theta naught will be equal here. Theta and theta naught will be equal here. So here theta will be equal to theta naught. Because A equal to, the reason is A equal to G sin theta. Therefore theta will be same as theta naught. So therefore, now Y component resultant force equal to mg cos theta. Theta and theta naught are equal here. Mg cos, I mean T minus Y component resultant force is T naught minus mg cos theta. That is 0 because it is in equilibrium. So apparent weight is nothing but equal to the magnitude of the tension and the string in equilibrium position. The apparent weight of the bob is nothing but magnitude of tension and the string in equilibrium position, which you write mg dash. So g dash you can write g cos theta. So time period of small oscillation to the bob of the pendulum can write 2 pi into root of L by g dash. G dash you can write g cos theta. So if you want to copy the solution by the alternate method, this is the alternate method for the same question which I have discussed before. So if you want to copy the alternate method, also you can take a pause and copy the alternate method. So for question number 45, second option is answer. See the question number 46. An object of mass 0.2 kg executes simple harmonic oscillation along the x-axis with a frequency 25 by pi hertz. At the position x equal 0.04 meter, the object has kinetic energy 0.5 joules and potential energy 0.4 joules. The amplitude of oscillation is. So total energy of oscillations you can write half k square or half m omega square a square if the potential energy is 0 at the mean position. The potential energy is 0 at the mean position, then total energy of oscillation is same as maximum kinetic energy. So total energy of oscillation at the given position is equal to kinetic energy at the given position plus potential energy at the given position. Kinetic energy is 0.5 joules. Potential energy is 0.4 joules. But total energy will be same in all positions. So total energy at any position can be taken 0.9 joules. Omega angular frequency can write 2 pi times frequency of oscillations. Frequency of oscillation is 25 by pi hertz. So the angular frequency will 50 per second. Total energy of oscillations same as the maximum kinetic energy. I mean if the potential at the mean position is 0. Half m omega square a square. Total energy 0.9 joules. Mass m is given to 0.2 kg. Omega equal to 50 per second. So those who want to copy the solution of the problem, they can copy the solution of the problem. They can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem, and they can try to complete the simplification part themselves. So if you simplify, you get the answer as 6 centimeters. So for question number 46, first option is answer. See the question number 47. Ball of mass m hanging from a spring oscillates with a time period per second. Ball is removed when it is in equilibrium position. The spring shortens by. In equilibrium position, we write kx equal mg. Here xe represents the elongation of the spring when it is in equilibrium. Equilibrium position is the position where resultant force of mass becomes zero. So magnitude elastic force by spring in the upward direction balance the weight mg. So elongation in equilibrium position denoted by x subscript e. So when the mass is removed from the equilibrium position, the spring will regain its natural length, L0. That means the spring will shorten by distance equal to xe. So the time period of oscillations is given by 2 point root of m by k, which you can write as xe by g. So the time period is 4 seconds here, and g is given to be pi square meter per second square. So you get to square both sides here. So pi gets cancelled here. You get to the square m by k is equal to xe by g. The time period is 4 seconds. So this will be, if you cancel pi square, pi, under root of pi square, pi can cancel. So then you get 2 square equal to xe. So xe you get 4 meters. So for question number 47, second option is the answer. See the next question, 48. The speed v of a particle moving along a straight line when at a distance x from fixed point, the line is v square equal to 144 minus 9x square. Select the correct alternatives. So the magnitude of velocity for a particle performing a such at any instant can be written in the form v equal to omega into root of s square minus x square. So let us write the given equation in this form. So to make the equation of x square numerically equal to 1, we take 9 common here. So if we take 9 common here, v square you can write 144, you can write 12 into or 116 into 9. So 9 into 16 minus x square. So if you take positive root here, v can be written as root 9 is 3. Root of 16 you can write 4 square minus x square. So compare this equation with this equation. So omega equal to 3 units. S square equal to 4 square. Or S square equal to 16. Or 4 square. Or A equal to 4 units. So maximum value of displacement, A is the displacement amplitude. So maximum value of displacement or displacement amplitude is 4 units. That is second option B is definitely correct. The time period of oscillation is given by 2 pi by omega. That is 2 pi by 3. That is statement A is correct. Statement B is also correct. Let us check up the statement C. The magnitude of the acceleration when it is a distance x from mean position is given by omega square into x. So when omega is here 3, magnitude of the displacement when x is 3 units will be 3 square into 3. That will be 27 units. So statement C is also correct. But statement D is not correct. The motion of the particle is periodic but not, it is definitely simple harmonic motion. So A, B, C are correct. So for question number 48, second option is the answer. The statement A, B and C are correct. See the question number 49. A spring has a natural length of 50 centimeters and a force constant of 2 in 10 power 3 Newton per meter. A body of mass 10 kg is suspended from it and the spring is stretched. The body is pulled down further, stretching the spring to a length of 58 centimeters and released from rest at t equal to 0. It executes simple harmonic motion. What is the speed of the body when it is 2 centimeters above its lowermost position of its oscillation? So to find the speed, you have to find omega and amplitude of oscillations. To know the amplitude of oscillations, and you have to know the elongation spring in the equilibrium position. So in the equilibrium position of the mass, the position where net force becomes 0, we call it the equilibrium position. The two forces act on the mass in opposite directions. The net force acting on the mass will be 0. The elongation spring in the equilibrium position denoted by x subscript E. So magnitude of the net force on the spring in the equilibrium position is equal to kx E minus mg. X is the elongation spring in the equilibrium position, that is 0. So k into x equal to mg. So elongation spring in the equilibrium position is mg by k. Here the mass of the body is 10 kg. G is 10 meters per second square. Mg will be there for 100 newtons, 10 into 10 newtons. So k is given to 2 into 10 cube meters. 10 cube Newton per meter. So you get here 1 by 20 meters or elongation in the equilibrium position 5 centimeters. So the natural length of the spring, which is usually denoted by L naught, that is the length of spring when no mass is suspended, is 50 centimeters. So at the lowest position, at equilibrium position, it has elongation denoted by xc. So equilibrium position can be considered the mean position for oscillations. And the lowest position can be considered as one of the extreme positions. The length of the spring at the lowest position is given as 58 centimeters. The mass is released from rest at the lowest position. So the velocity is 0 at the lowest position. So lowest position can be considered as one of the extreme positions for oscillations. So the distance between the lowest position, that is one of the extreme position, and equilibrium position or mean position, gives you the magnitude of the displacement amplitude. From the figure you can observe natural length L naught plus elongation in the equilibrium position plus magnitude of displacement amplitude gives you the length of spring at the lowest position of the mass, that is 58 centimeters. So L naught is given to 50 centimeters. Elongation xc in the equilibrium position is 5 centimeters. Therefore, displacement amplitude, if you simplify this, you get 3 centimeters. The time period of oscillations of the mass Suspended spring is given by 2 point root of m by k, or you can write it as xe by g. So here mass m is given here 10 kg. The elastic force constant spring is 2000 Newton per meter. This you can write 2 pi by omega, because omega is required to find speed. So we get omega equal to root of 200 per second, or 10 root 2 per second. We're asked to find the speed of the body at the instant when it is at a distance of 2 centimeters above the lowest position. Let P be the position of the body when it is at a distance of 2 centimeters above the lowest position. So, but in the equation for SHM, displacement x is measured from equilibrium position or mean position. Displacement x or y. That is denoted by, let us denote it by x. X is the distance of the body from the mean position or equilibrium position at the point P. So P denotes the position of the body at the instant when it is at a distance of 2 centimeters above the lowermost position. Let x denote the distance of the body at the point position P. That means x is the distance of the body from equilibrium position or mean position at the instant when it is 2 centimeters above the lowermost position. You can observe from this figure, mod of x plus 2 centimeters is equal to magnitude of the displacement amplitude at the point P. That is at the instant when it is at a distance of 2 centimeters above the lowermost position. Mod of x are equal to A is 3 centimeters. It will be 1 centimeter. So magnitude of the velocity is given by omega into root of a square or x square. Can write omega equal to 10 root 2. A is 3 centimeters. X is 1 centimeter. Can simplify this further. This comes from root 8 and root 16, that is root 16 4. So we will get the answer as 40 centimeter per second. So if you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So for question number 49, second option is the answer. See the question number 50. A particle is executing vertical simple harmonic motion about the highest point of a projectile. The particle is at the mean position. The projectile is fired from the ground with velocity u at an angle theta with the horizontal. The projectile hits the oscillating particle. Then the time period of the particle cannot be. So the time taken by the projectile to reach the highest point we call time of ascent. The projectile is thrown with initial speed of magnitude at an angle theta above the horizontal, which moves along a parabolic path. So at the highest point, there is a particle which is performing simple harmonic motion in the vertical direction. The particle is at the mean position at t equal to 0. When the projectile is projected at t equal to 0, the projectile reaches the highest point of its path after time equal to the time of ascent. We call time of ascent is the time taken to reach the highest point. You find it. So during this time, when the projectile reaches the highest point of its path, it will be able to hit the particle if the particle again returns back to the mean position. So if the particle is at the mean position at a particular instant, after time equal to 1/4 of the time period, it goes to one of the extreme positions. And time taken to move from one of the extreme position back to the mean position again capital T by 4. So if the particle is at the mean position at t equal to 0, it will be again at the mean position after a time equal to t by 4 plus t by 4, that is t by 2. That means the particle is again found at the mean position at regular intervals of time equal to t by 2. That means projectile hits the particle at the highest point of its path. The particle is performing simple harmonic motion. The vertical direction with the highest point of the path of projectile as mean position. If the time taken to reach the highest point, time of ascent, is equal to one of the instants, coincide with one of the instants of time at which the particle is again found at the mean position. The particle is again found at the mean position of time equal to half of the time period. And next again it is found after another time t by 2. That means t by 2 plus t by 2 is t. And again t plus t by 2 is 3t by 2. Or 2t. That means if you consider the first solution, it is the time period of cos raised to u sin theta by g. If you consider the second solution, the time period of acceleration of the particle will get 2u sin theta by 3g. Consider the third solution, time period of acceleration is u sin theta by 2g. So all these are possible values for time period of oscillation for the particle. Come on, if you want to copy this working, you can take a pause and copy the working. You can see the last line, that then the time period of the particle cannot be. So it can be 2u sin theta by g, it can also be 2u sin theta by 3g. That means the particle will be hit by the projectile if u sin theta by g is equal to t by 2 or t or 3t by 2 or 2t. So there is different possible values for time period. 2u sin theta by g cannot be the answer because you have to find which one is not possible. You consider the first and third. First and second, you consider t equal to u sin theta by. First and third, t equal to 2u sin theta by 3g. That is, it cannot be 3u sin theta by g. That means fourth option is answer. See the next question number 51. Body performs simple harmonic motion with period 24 seconds. Velocity 4 seconds after it has passed the mean position is 6.28 centimeter per second. The amplitude of its motion. So let us find the expression for velocity after it has crossed the mean position at time t after crossing. So if you start counting time when the particle is initially at the mean position, that means if, and let us denote the distance from mean position as y. If y equal to 0 and v is the positive at t equal to 0, that means the particle is initially at the mean position and the particle crosses the mean position at t equal to 0 in the positive direction. The particle is found at the mean position moving in the positive direction at t equal to 0. Then displacement from mean position of time t is given by y equal to s sin omega t. So velocity at time t you can write dy by dt. Because amplitude A is a constant, you can put A outside the derivative symbol. So velocity at time t can be j omega cos omega t. Here time period is given to be 24 seconds. So omega is 2 pi by time period. So 2 pi by 24 seconds or pi by 12 per second. You can substitute these values here. The velocity is given to 6.28 is the value of. So given that v equal to 6.28 centimeter per second, that is nothing but 2 pi centimeter per second at t equal to 4 seconds. As we must be knowing the value of pi equal to 3.14. So 2 pi will be 6.28. Substituting this in this equation, 6.28 centimeter per second. 8 omega is pi by 12, or pi you can write 3.14 by 12 per second into cos omega t. Omega is pi by 12 per second. This pi 3.14 is 2. Can be cancelled 6.28 2 times. So you get t equal to 4 seconds, you can substitute here. So you get here 2 equal to a by 12. 2 centimeter equal to a by 12 to cos pi by 3. Cos pi radians is 180 degrees. 180 by 3 cos 60 degrees. Cos 60 degrees 1 by 2. So you get the amplitude of oscillations as 48 centimeters. That's the answer. So if you want to copy the solution, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. So for question number 51, third option is answer. See the question number 52. A uniform spring has an unstretched length L and force constant K. The spring is cut into two pieces of unstretched length L1 and L2, such that L1 by L2 is N. N is an integer. The corresponding force constant K1 and K2 are. So L1 is to L2 is equal to N is to 1. L1 plus L2 gives you the length L of the original spring. Divide the total length according to that ratio. L1 equal ratio value for L1 N divided by sum of the two ratios N plus 1 whole multiplied by sum of L1 and L2. L2 equal ratio value for L2 that is 1 divided by sum of the two ratios that is N plus 1 whole multiplied by sum of the L1 and L2. As I told you, each part of the spring differs from original spring only in terms of length. So force constant of the first spring, the first part of length L1 divided by force constant of original spring is equal to L by L1. That means force constant is inversely related to the length. So here K1 you can write KL by L1. So L1 can be written as N into L by N plus 1. So you get K1 equal to N plus 1 by N into K. Similarly, force constant of second part of length L2 divided by force constant of original spring with length L is equal to L by L2. So L2 you can write L by N plus 1. So get K2 equal to N plus 1 into K. So these are the two answers. If you want to copy the working, take a pause and copy the working. This problem was given one of the previous MCET exam papers in the medical entrance. So for question number 52, second option is answer. See the question number 53. Cubical block of mass Kepler vibrates horizontally with an amplitude of 4 centimeters and a frequency of 2 hertz. Small block of mass small m is placed on the bigger block. Now that small block does not slide on the bigger block, the minimum value of the question of friction. Similar question I have discussed in the past. The angular frequency omega, you can write 2 pi times frequency. That is 2 pi into 2 hertz. Omega, you can write 4 pi per second. In this case, the force of friction acting on the small block by the bigger block provides the restoring force. So restoring force on the mass small m when it is at one of the extreme positions can be written as product of mass small m, I mean magnitude of restoring force on mass small m is same as the magnitude of frictional force. That can be written as mass small m into magnitude of acceleration at an extreme position. Magnitude of acceleration at an extreme position can be written as omega square times the magnitude of the displacement amplitude. But static friction acting on the mass small m cannot exceed the limiting value in us into n. That means the small block does not slip on the bigger block of mass capital M if F can substitute Fs equal to m omega square A less than normal reaction smaller block by the bigger block can be written mg in magnitude. That is omega square A is less than or equal to nu s into g. Nu s into g has to be more than or equal to omega square A. So nu s has to be greater than or equal to omega square A by g. So minimum value of the coefficient of static friction needed for this omega square A by g. Omega you can write 4 pi per second. The amplitude of oscillation is given to 4 centimeter, that is in SI units. 4 into 10 power minus 2 meters. And g equal to pi square meter per second square. Simplify this. If you want to copy the solution to the problem, you can take a pause and copy the solution of the problem. Get the answer at 0.64. I will continue discussion of the remaining questions in my next class.